Benjamin Impossible. Chapter 28. Breaking and Entering. Lemon Time floated in space, his spacesuit rotating slowly as he drifted away from the submarine. "What secret weapon?" the captain yelled, his voice tinged with desperation. "Did you install a new weapon in my spacesuit?" Benjamin grinned. "I'm talking about your most powerful weapon, your megafart power." "Huh?" "Activate your awesome megafart power. The fart gas will blow you back to the submarine so I can grab you." "You're kidding, right?" Lemon Time asked, affronted. "I am not going to fart my way back to the submarine." Benjamin pointed toward the front of the submarine. "Glockenspiel's robots will be here soon. Their laser blasters will light up your suit, overwhelm your cooling systems, and boil you alive if you don't do something." The boy tried to sound reasonable. "Captain, all you have to do is say the activation phrase to activate your super awesome fart power. Please save yourself. Think of all the children on Earth who need our help." Lemon Time swallowed. "Oh, geez, don't you tell anyone about this." Benjamin held up one hand. "I won't tell anyone, Captain. What happens on the giant space submarine stays on the giant space submarine." "Megafart power, activate!" Lemon Time yelled out. The small compartment in his bottom opened and a jet of noxious brown gas shot out, propelling the captain closer. "That's good," Benjamin called out. "Wait until you rotate a little more, then fart again. I recommend short bursts. Try to crop dust your way back over here." "This is so embarrassing," Lemon Time wailed as he flatulated through space. Lemon Time squirted himself back to the submarine. He hit the ship and scrambled to hold on. Benjamin laughed so hard he almost forgot to grab the larger man before he floated off into space again. "That was freaking hilarious," the boy chortled. "I am so glad I recorded that on video." "You didn't." "Yep. When we get back to Earth, I'm uploading that video to YouTube. You are going to be super famous, dude." "I'm going to be the laughingstock of the Air Force is what I'll be," Lemon Time replied. "Don't worry about it, Lemonhead. Now that you're my sidekick, you won't have to work for the Air Force anymore." "I am not your sidekick." "Sure you are, Fart Man." Captain Lemon Time slid his boots over the surface of the submarine. "Why aren't my feet sticking like yours?" Benjamin inspected Lemon Time's boot. "Oh, here's the problem. The marble that hit your foot also damaged the electromagnetic circuitry in your boots. No wonder you didn't stick to the submarine when you landed." "You think?" Benjamin stripped a wire out of Lemon Time's leg and connected it back into the damaged space boot. After confirming the connection, he used his gas blaster to shoot the broken circuit board with superglue to keep the wires from popping loose again. "Try walking now." Lemon Time gingerly stepped on his foot, and both of his boots stuck to the submarine's metal hull. "Painful, but everything seems to be working," the captain confirmed. "Great," Benjamin chirped, "because here come the bad guys." Over the edge of the ship, several of Glockenspiel's robots walked toward them, their eyes glowing red. "Activating power shield," Benjamin said, turning on the spinning shield on his left forearm and blocking a laser blast from one of the robots. Lemon Time unclipped the heavy club from his back, ready for action. Unfortunately, the robots weren't approaching, but stood at a distance, peppering the two with lasers. "Looks like Glockenspiel has gotten smart," Benjamin said. "He knows our strength-enhanced spacesuits can crush his robots at close quarters. He has programmed them to shoot us from a safe distance in the hopes of wearing us down." Lemon Time limped forward, attempting to get closer to a robot, but the mechanical man stepped backward in response and continued to shoot lasers at them. "It's times like these I wish you had given me a gun," Lemon Time complained, hunkering behind his own spinning shield. Benjamin grinned. "Well, I have made some modifications to the spacesuit since our last battle. Let's try out our new capacitor cannons." Benjamin held up his right hand and made a shooting motion with his fingers. Instantly, a new cannon popped out of the right forearm. Lemon Time mimicked his hand gesture, and a similar barrel appeared on his own arm. "Great, kid. What can this thing do?" "This is a new weapon I designed specifically to take out robots. It shoots small supercapacitors made out of graphene. Our spacesuits charge the graphene before being fired, and all that stored energy discharges on impact. Think of it like a reusable taser gun that spits out tiny batteries." "Neat. I thought your mom didn't want you to play with guns." Benjamin grinned. "Oh, this isn't a gun, Captain. This is a cannon." "Is there a difference?" Benjamin nodded. "Oh, sure. They are spelled differently. The boy pointed at a robot and said, "Bang!" A ball flew out of his cannon and hit the robot. A flash of lightning erupted on impact, and the robot stopped dead in its tracks. "Nice!" Lemon-Time said as he aimed. "How do you fire this thing? There isn't a trigger." "I just showed you, Captain," Benjamin said as he aimed. "You say, bang!" Another graphene bullet shot out of Benjamin's cannon. It missed the robot he was aiming at and discharged its energy harmlessly on the submarine's hull before ricocheting off into space. "You say, bang?" Lemon-Time asked incredulously. His arm jumped and a graphene capacitor shot off into space. The force of the blast pushed him back, and he checked his footing to make sure he didn't fall off the ship again. "Yes," Benjamin said, aiming carefully. "You say, bang!" Another capacitor flew out and hit a robot, this time in the head. A flash of light erupted, and the robot's head blew up. "Did you see that?" Benjamin cried out in triumph. "Great, kid. Don't get cocky." "Hey!" Benjamin complained. "Don't be throwing Star Wars quotes at me." They continued to shoot at the robots and quickly thinned their ranks. Glockenspiel must have been monitoring the battle, for the undamaged robots promptly retreated out of sight. "Do we follow them?" Captain Lemon-Time asked. "No way. Those robots are heading toward the deck gun. Our spacesuits can shrug off laser blasts, but we can't survive artillery fire." Benjamin walked toward the rear of the submarine. "I downloaded the blueprints to this submarine before the internet went down. We can blast through a service hatch near the engine room." They made their way toward the back of the ship. Lemon-Time kept glancing behind in search of pursuers, but the submarine's exterior was still. Benjamin tapped a button on his watch, then spoke into the microphone mounted inside his helmet. "Noah, move under the submarine, hover 1 mile out, and give me a visual." Seconds later, an electronic bark answered via Benjamin's suit radio. Noah floated under the submarine, staying safely out of the firing range of the ship's topside guns. The robotic dog used his telescopic camera eyes to zoom in on the submarine, transmitting the video to Benjamin via shortwave radio. A video image of the submarine appeared on Benjamin's heads-up display. He scanned the grainy video, searching for new enemies. "It looks like the robots are going inside," he muttered. Captain Lemon-Time looked around suspiciously. "That's good, right?" Benjamin shrugged. "Maybe. It might also mean that Glockenspiel has something nastier planned for us. Let's focus on getting inside this giant tin can." They eventually found the entry hatch. It was a round door that sat flush with the ship's outer hull. The door looked extraordinarily sturdy and had a giant rotating wheel set into its face. This wheel was heavily reinforced with welded crossbars and was evidently used to tighten and seal the door against the incredible water pressure encountered during deep ocean dives. Benjamin unslung the duffel bag he carried and rested it next to the heavy metal door. "All right, whiz kid, what have you got to get us through this armored door?" Lemon-Time asked. Benjamin held up a Ziploc bag full of colorful objects. "I brought my Halloween candy." Lemon-Time shook his head. "Why do I even ask? How will candy get us through this door?" "Oh, this isn't just ordinary candy, Lemonhead. This is my entire stash of incendiary sweets. I've got lollipoppers, Jolly Rockets, jelly bombs, and gummy blasters in here. I would have brought some Molotov candy corn, but Mom confiscated those after I accidentally set an oil tanker on fire." "Explosive candy?" Lemon-Time asked. "Why would you even need something like that?" Benjamin pointed at the door before them. "Duh. For situations like this, of course. Captain, I know you're just a sidekick, but you might want to think first before you ask silly questions like that." Benjamin set down the candy and pulled out a roll of duct tape. He then meticulously taped each piece of candy in a continuous circle around the doorframe. "This explosion is going to blow this metal door right off its hinges." "How do you activate the explosives?" Lemon-Time asked nervously, looking around for approaching robots. "Simple. You just have to lick one. The water in your saliva activates a chain reaction in the candy matrix, and 5 seconds later, the candy explodes. Once one candy blows, the others will explode as well." Lemon-Time frowned, thinking about this. "Okay. How are we supposed to lick a lollipop when we are out in space?" Benjamin paused, then looked up at the captain. "That's where you come in, Captain. I need you to pop open your face shield for a few seconds and lick one of these lollipops." "And expose myself to the vacuum of space? That will kill me." "Not necessarily. It's believed that the human body can survive a vacuum for at least 7 seconds. You'll just have to lick quickly. Absolutely not. Benjamin put his hands on his hips. Come on, Lemon baby. You've got to be a team player here. I'm the one doing all the smart stuff. You need to do some of the dirty work. Stop being so lazy. I'm not being lazy. I've already broken my ankle and risked my life in this rescue attempt of yours. Why don't you lick the candy? Me? Benjamin said with surprise. I'm not going to do it. And why not, genius? It's your killer candy, after all. Benjamin shook his head. I can't be exposing myself to vacuum. The decompression might collapse my lungs or make my eyeballs explode. I need my vision to finish this mission. Besides, I'm just a kid. Well, I'm not doing it, Lemon said definitively. Isn't there another way to set off the explosive? Benjamin thought about this. Well, I suppose there is another way, but you're not going to like it either. Spit it out. More like pee it out. I need you to pee in your spacesuit. Say again. Just pee in your suit. The automatic collection system will collect the urine. I'll just pop open your waste disposal port, and we can use your pee to set off the candy. You want me to pee in my spacesuit? Benjamin nodded. Sure, I designed the spacesuit for long spacewalks. You can use the bathroom, and the vacuum in your pants will suck it all up. Why don't you pee? Why does it have to be me? This is your idea, after all. I don't need to pee. I went to the bathroom on the Red Zeppelin before we left. I always use the bathroom before a long trip. It's got to be you, I'm afraid. I'm supposed to just go right here, standing up? Benjamin crossed his arms. We haven't got all day, Captain. Who knows what nefarious plot Dr. Glockenspiel is scheming inside this ship while we delay? Lemon threw up his hands. Fine. I'll do it. Hold on. Benjamin tapped his foot impatiently and checked the clock. What's taking so long? I can't go with you watching me like that. Fine, you big baby. Benjamin turned away and looked out into space, giving the captain some privacy. Would you like me to turn on relaxing music while you go? I can transmit a sound clip of running water if you think that will help. Just be quiet. Benjamin watched the vital signs inside of Lemon suit and was surprised by the results. The thermometers in the pelvis and chest were registering a spike in temperature. Something doesn't seem right in here, Lemon said. My feet are getting wet and my shirt is feeling warm. Did you turn on the urine vacuum first? Benjamin asked. What urine vacuum? The urine vacuum you are supposed to activate before you start peeing, of course. You didn't say anything about a urine vacuum, Lemon yelled. This stuff is getting everywhere. Benjamin shook his head sadly. You are supposed to turn the vacuum on before you start going. Don't you even know how to pee in space? I wrote the toilet directions in your spacesuit's instruction manual. Darn it, Benjamin. I told you before, I didn't read the instruction manual. You wrote the stupid thing in Klingon. Benjamin nodded thoughtfully. Oh, that's right. You don't speak Klingon, do you? The urine, which had been seeping up Lemon t-shirt in the low gravity, finally began to flow up around the captain's neck. Little globules of yellow liquid floated weightlessly in front of his eyes. Ack! It's in my helmet! It's stinging my eyes! Oh, calm down. Little Charlie pees his pants all the time and you don't hear him whining about it. Just turn your suit's vacuum hose on. How do I do that? Just move your head forward and use the joystick to operate the suit's menu system. Look under Vital Functions and select number 1. I'm not putting my mouth on that joystick. It's covered in pee now. Fine, Benjamin said, rolling his eyes. Let me take over your suit and I'll do it. Lemon suit was still slave to Benjamin's, so it was easy for the boy to hack into the spacesuit's computer and turn on the vacuum pump. Lemon heard a hiss and his ears popped. The urine floating around his face was sucked downward, flowing into a vacuum port built into the suit's lower half. The captain blinked, his eyes stinging. His space helmet was clear, but there were still little urine droplets splattered on the inside of his face mask and on the joystick controls in front of his mouth. This is so disgusting, Lemon moaned. My clothes are wet and it smells terrible in here. This could all have been avoided if you had licked that lollipop like I first suggested. Lemon glared at Benjamin, and the boy held up his hands in mock surrender. Let's just blow this submarine hatch open, the captain growled. How do we get the urine onto the explosives? I've invented a small airlock system in the suit for waste removal. You'll find it on the back of your spacesuit. It's kind of like a miniature airlock, but I call it the poop lock. Okay, whatever. How do we use it? Benjamin activated the poop lock function via his wireless connection. I've already opened the poop chute. The urine inside should be frozen by now. You just have to squat down like you are pooping to eject the sample. Lemon-Time paused. You aren't video recording this? Of course not, Benjamin lied. Just bend your legs and pop a squat. The ice block will fly out. You just have to believe. Lemon-Time bent down, and a panel slid open between his legs. He squatted down, but nothing happened. Did it come out? Not yet, Lemonhead. Try bouncing up and down a little bit. Bend from the hips and give it your best. Are you kidding me? Benjamin shook his head. The ejection mechanism is probably frozen. Just keep pushing, dude. You can do it. The world is depending on you. After a couple more gyrations, a cube of yellow ice shot out of the spacesuit's derriere and pinged off the surface of the submarine. Benjamin caught the ice cube inside the Ziploc bag and held it up triumphantly. Got it! The boy looked at the little yellow ice cube critically. Not a very big specimen, Captain. That's because most of my pee is still in my space boots, Lemon-Time yelled. Geez, calm down, Benjamin said. Let's just blow this door open. Benjamin took the urine cube and placed it on top of an explosive lollipopper candy. He secured the ice cube in place with another piece of tape and stood well back from the metal door. Now what? Lemon-Time asked. Now, I shoot that ice cube with the capacitor cannon. The electric discharge will melt some of the ice and the liquid urine will set off the explosive. And that's it? Yep, Benjamin said, aiming his cannon. You might want to step back. This is going to be a big bang. At the word bang, a graphene ball shot out of Benjamin's cannon and struck the ice cube with a flash. Rather than exploding, however, the slippery piece of yellow ice shot out from under the tape and flew off into space, quickly lost to sight. They both watched the candy-covered door, waiting for the expected explosion, but nothing happened. Huh, Benjamin said. That didn't work like I expected. Maybe I needed to tape that ice cube down better before shooting it. Do you think you can pee again, Captain? No, I cannot, Lemon-Time growled. Benjamin backed up with his hands up. Cool your jets. It was a perfectly good plan, Lemonhead. Lemon-Time furrowed his brows and balled his fists with anger. Then he stopped, a sudden thought coming to him. Wait a second, kid. If any fluid will set off these candy explosives, why didn't you use one of your gas blaster rounds? The skunk juice is mostly water, isn't it? Benjamin's eyes widened. Oh, yeah. Skunk juice would work way better than frozen urine. Plus, my gas blaster has an internal heater to keep the juice from freezing. Why didn't I think of this earlier? When we get out of these spacesuits, I'm going to kill you, Lemon-Time warned him. Okay, big guy, let it go, Benjamin said as he activated his gas blaster and cycled through ammo. Lemon-Time pointed at the hatch. I know this is a dumb question, but have we checked to see if that door is even locked? Of course it's locked, Benjamin replied with confidence. Who plans world domination then accidentally leaves the door to their space submarine unlocked? Benjamin held up the gas blaster, ready to shoot a round of skunk juice at the explosive candy. Before the boy could fire, Lemon-Time reached down and grasped the wheel built into the door. To the captain's annoyance, the wheel spun easily, and the access hatch popped open. Benjamin lowered his gas blaster and looked through the hatch with surprise. Well, what do you know? The door was open this whole time. I guess you didn't have to pee on yourself after all, Captain. I'm not talking to you anymore, Lemon-Time said. He pointed at the dark entranceway. Annoying children first. It sounds like you're still talking to me, Captain. Lemon-Time grabbed Benjamin's spacesuit and pushed the boy through the hatch, then followed him inside. You've reached the end of Chapter 28. Please consider liking this video or maybe leave a comment. Then proceed to Chapter 29, The House Tour.